What's the worst way your family compared you to other relatives? My mom decided Thanksgiving dinner was the perfect time to announce my academic shortcomings to 20 relatives crammed around our dining room table. I'm sitting there, 13 years old, trying to enjoy my mashed potatoes when she pulls out my report card like it's evidence in a murder trial. The thing was folded in her purse all day, waiting for maximum humiliation impact. I could tell she'd been planning this moment since I handed it to her 3 days earlier. "Look at this," she says, waving my straight B's in the air like there's some kind of felony conviction. Meanwhile, cousin Jessica just got accepted to Johns Hopkins Medical School. The entire table goes silent. Aunt Linda stops mid-chew, her mouth literally hanging open. Uncle Bob puts down his beer so hard it makes that hollow thunk sound. Even my 5-year-old cousin stops throwing green beans at the wall and stares at me with this look of pity that I still see in my nightmares. Then Mom does the thing that still haunts me 15 years later. She actually gets up from her chair, walks to the kitchen counter, and grabs Jessica's acceptance letter. Not a copy, the actual letter, because apparently she'd been carrying it around like a trophy for weeks, just waiting for this moment. She starts reading it out loud, word for word. Full name, university letterhead, the works. While I'm sitting right there, fork halfway to my mouth, watching 20 pairs of eyes bounce between the golden child's achievements and my apparently devastating mediocrity. The turkey's getting cold, the cranberry sauce is congealing, and my entire extended family is getting a full dissertation on why I'm the family disappointment. Pre-med, 4.0 GPA, Dean's List, full scholarship, she announces like she's reading the evening news. Why can't you apply yourself like Jessica? She studies 12 hours a day while you're wasting time on those ridiculous video games. At this point, I'm calculating if it's possible to just melt into the dining room floor and disappear forever. My dad's sitting across from me, not saying a word, just aggressively cutting his turkey, like it personally offended him. My little sister's trying not to laugh because she thinks this is hilarious, and everyone else is nodding along like this is totally normal dinner conversation, not psychological warfare against a 13-year-old. Here's the kicker though. I found out years later that Jessica was actually 24 and finishing grad school, while I was literally in 8th grade taking Algebra I and struggling with homework. My mom was comparing a middle schooler's report card to someone who'd already finished her bachelor's degree, taken the MCAT, and survived 4 years of pre-med courses. But nobody bothered to mention that tiny detail during my public execution. The worst part? Everyone just nodded along and started sharing their own Jessica success stories like this was some kind of twisted book club meeting. Grandma chimed in with, "Jessica's always been so focused, even as a little girl. She used to organize her crayons by color. Thanks, Grandma. Really needed that extra kick while I was down." Aunt Carol mentioned how Jessica volunteers at the hospital on weekends and already knows all the medical terminology. Uncle Steve brought up her research internship and how the professors love her. It was like they were building a shrine to Jessica's perfection while using my report card as kindling for the fire. I spent the rest of dinner staring at my plate, counting peas in my green bean casserole, and listening to them discuss Jessica's bright medical future while I calculated exactly how many years until I could legally move out and change my name. Spoiler alert. It was 5 very long years of this exact same conversation every holiday. The absolute cherry on top of this humiliation Sunday, Jessica dropped out of med school 2 months later to become a yoga instructor in Bali, but somehow that never made it into the Thanksgiving dinner announcements.